What is going on, guys? Today we have a special video based on everybody's favorite map in the game right now. I'm just kidding. Not a lot of people like this map, but I think it's okay. I think Fracture's a decent map, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Fracture. We saw our first official match now of Fracture, and it's in between NIP and what is it? London United. So first things first, Breach. You're going to see him a lot on these maps, on this map. And why is that? Well, Breach's stun is a thick boy. It basically covers almost every lane in this map. It covers this, it covers this, so nobody can peek. It covers this, so nobody can peek. It covers this, you're going to see this used in a second. Breach is just so good. And I think that if you're playing Fracture and you're not picking Breach on your team, I think you're kind of throwing. No, but for real, he's just really good. Your teammates can follow up on his utility really quickly. You guys can gain map control, which is really important that I'm going to talk about in a second for this map. And obviously, he's just really good. He can C-Blast Killjoy's ultimate out of the ground because people like to put it under this tunnel on B site. And yeah, his flashes are decent. His ult is pretty good. Yeah, overall, his kit's pretty good for this map. And I'm going to play out this round, and we're going to talk about it as we go. So NIP. Their game plan for this round is to make a ton of pressure towards A or towards Dish. They take Dish control. Breach stuns off the rip, so Jet can dash up and gain this immediate control here. And Cypher and Astro are going to play a little more passive outside of A main and wait for their teammates to come from Dish so they can flank from behind and pinch the A side, right? So let's play this. London United has their Breach and Jet here, getting ready to stun and flash them respectively, to hold this map control, and Jet can dash up, get some kills. And then with that, also, like I said, on Fracture, it's Fracture's a good map because it takes a lot of, it forces you to think differently about every Valor map, because this is a different map, obviously, than others, sort of. So on Fracture, obviously, attackers can spawn on both ends, and defenders, if you stay on sites, you're just asking to get pinched. So in order to prevent you from getting pinched, you need to push one side of the map so that when the enemy hits the site, you can now retake the site from whichever way you need to. You know what I mean? So then you could, so let's say, for example, they're pinching A right here, right? Let's just play this out, you'll see. So they have this Viper wall. London United has this Viper wall, and they just decide to 3-push past it, which is fine. I think that's good. They push past the wall, they clear all this area, right? And then they're having their teammates, they're playing here, so you guys can pinch anybody who's playing in this whole area, right? And then they just play retake on whatever half the enemy takes, which is a decent strat. I like it. Let's see how it works out. So obviously Breach is flashing off of Jet's contact. Jet gets a kill, tries to go for another one, and this is really good because the sandwich ended up working out. So now that NIP is in a 1v or a 3v5, these guys are probably going to be looking to push out and get some kills. So what is it? London United now needs to realize, hey, let's get ready for the retake now and get ready for them to push out, get aggressive, try to make a play, get some kills. You're down 3v5, you're not going to hold a post plant against 5 other agents. So let's see how this works out. Jet's pushing past the Viper wall, tries to find a kill, ends up finding one on the Viper, which is huge. Viper's always good to kill because they have a lot of good utility. Smokes, obviously. And this is where I think London United go wrong on this retake. So because it's a 3v5, first off, you can't be surprised that they're pushing up here to get a kill on you here. You sort of have to expect it. And when you go to try to retake A side especially, you need to have control of 2 areas at least, at bare minimum. You need to have control of at least rope and this, and maybe drop in this. You know what I mean? You can't just come from one part of the map, and you're going to see they're getting ready to just basically come from rope. And their Yoru is on a super long flank because he used his TP to go all the way back to B, which I don't know why he used it there. I don't think he really needed to. I think if he just plays with his team, he's probably better off. Because let's say, for example, they have 4 people here. They could probably push through the door and take A main. And then once you have A main, you can basically go. You can retake from A main, and here all you have to worry about is drop, and then you guys are fine. But where it goes wrong is that Yoru takes a while to flank. Jet, Cypher, and Breach are all getting ready through rope. They have this wall they're waiting for to go down, I guess. And they start retaking the site before they even have drop control. And that's the issue here, right? Because you can't start retaking everybody through rope, through drop, because you're literally just running into a huge crossfire. You're getting pinched from both A main and drop at the same time. So if you're running into here, that doesn't make any sense. So this retake is going to fall apart, especially when Yoru's not even ready. You know what I mean? You either want to wait a few seconds so your Yoru can kill this breach, and then you guys go, or you guys, these 3 players here, fight the 2 guys in A main. You know what I mean? So, let's play it out. Breach is pinching him. Yeah, Yoru gets a guy, but by that point, the damage has been done already, and the Yoru is now retaking from drop, which is almost impossible to do. So, that's pistol round for you. And this round showed a lot about how you play this map. You want to push for control in one half of the map, and retake the other half. It's a cat and mouse game. You know, I push this area. Hey guys, they're not in B main. Okay, well if they're not in B main, well they can either be here, here, or here, right? But it's like, okay, well maybe your Cypher has a camera. Like maybe he threw his camera right away on this wall. Okay, well they're not dish. Okay, well they're not here. They're not here. They can only be B main or they're going to be here. So once Cypher clears this, Cypher's like, okay, whoever's playing with me, let's pinch this. So, okay, they're not here on this half of the map. The only spot they can be is here. And the reason why this doesn't work in ranked a lot is because this requires a lot of communication. And I think from this one round that I showed you guys, I think you can learn a lot about how to play Fracture. I'm going to show you guys a few more rounds, but I think that this was a good example on how you're supposed to play this map. So let's go to the next one now. All right, so I'm taking us over to round 4, and this is probably the last round I'm going to do because I'm gonna keep this video short, and I just wanted to explain to you guys on how you're supposed to play this map. So round 3, we have our Cypher and Viper bunkering down on the B side, and then you have Jet, Yoru, and Breach all playing towards A, and you're going to see later that they are going to push and take some map control. And then this round's a little funky, and I think it's pretty interesting. So NIP is looking to go for a B hit, plus they have their Cypher holding the flank. They're holding this area right here. Tripwire is holding this. So enemies can't literally can't be, like, he's holding on this, a lot of parts of the map for them. He's holding on a lot of map control for the team. And I think that's really important. But it looks like they're opting to go for more of an A hit, or a B hit, I should say. So he stuns this so nobody could peek. Jet's clearing out her angles one at a time. The Cypher camera is going to have first contact, and anybody coming up B main probably have something planned for that. Looks like they have a little one-way too, which is cool. And then you have this Viper wall too, which gets you a lot of, these are good smokes. It covers B main, covers this as well. And then the reason why this wall is so good is because if you ever want to go through arcade, it also gives you the option to go into tunnel without anybody knowing, but it also gives you the option to push through here with, obviously, like, they don't know, like the enemy team can't know because they can't look over the wall. They don't know you're coming. So it gives you a lot of options here. And this Viper wall here is good too, because if the enemy team ends up wanting to go A, well, these guys can walk up and push this right here without these guys knowing, without the enemy knowing. They can defend rope because it sort of like blocks off this door and makes it really hard to take. And then on the retake, if they're retaking A, they can retake rope pretty easily because this is smoked off, this is smoked off. And I don't think this is smoked off, but like I said, they can take rope pretty easy through the spawn area right here, or through their, through mid. I guess you call this mid, right? So this wall's pretty good, and this wall's pretty good, is basically what I'm saying. So once a lot of pressure is made towards B main, I guess that camera is just to basically tell Viper, yeah, they're coming, pop your ulti, right? So the ulti goes down, and it basically covers most of this B side, makes it super awkward to take. So let's see how ninjas in pajamas deal with this. They C blast, try to find a kill maybe. They molly it, trying to find somebody. So they're like, NIP's like, wait, so this is smoked off. Like, we can't go B side really, but what is open is their spawn. So maybe we can go through their spawn and go to A. Like, F it, let's do something crazy, right? So Jet's leading the charge through their spawn. Like, all right, F it, let's go through here. They're not letting us take B. They can just sit on B. So they're looking to look for some spawn kills. Astra starts creeping up. This is a little dangerous. I don't know if this is a good idea. Okay, so let me pause a second. So this guy, whoever just died, the Viper, this is really dangerous because 1, you're by yourself, and 2, like I said, on a map like Fresh, you can't stay stagnant for too long because you're almost asking for yourself to get pinched. London United planned on pushing this, right? So they pushed it. Yeah, there was a Cypher Tripwire here, but Jet up drafted over it, whatever. The longer time you stay stagnant, the more time the enemy has to figure out what you're actually doing. So by Viper staying in this position for too long, it gave Jet the opportunity to push up in this area. Even if the Tripwire went down, sure, then she would move. But like, you can't expect to find anything good by staying here. You know what I mean? So Jet was able to updraft and pinch this area right here. So once the Jet kills this guy, it pretty much tells these guys, yo, they're pinching this area. So let's go take A site, right? So Astra starts, scaling up. She's by herself. this is really scary. There was definitely a miscommunication, I think, out in the comms, because there's no reason why Astra should be the first one making contact, because that's all their smokes. And if she dies, the execution that they're going to have later in the round is going to be super scuffed. You know what I mean? So let's play this forward. Astra's moving up. She makes a nice shot on that Yoru there. But then again, like, you don't know what's on this half of the map. And you can't just knife out and sort of walk and expect nobody else to be there. Yeah, you killed the Yoru, and Yoru is probably not the anchor for the A site. You know what I mean? Or maybe she thought something else in her head, but you just got to be careful. You got to really value your life there. So I think that was a big mistake by the Astra. But now Breach knows that all of them are coming. He's expecting them to go through spawn. So Breach immediately, his response is to take A main, which is so big. It's huge, because taking A main on the retake is really important. So now this became really awkward because... Oh, wait, where did everybody die at? Hold on. So Cypher's sitting on the wall. He's watching flank. His team is going through spawn. So I guess... Where does Cypher die? I know where Viper dies. So Cypher's making his way in a tunnel. Or does he push past the wall? If he pushes past the wall, this is kind of scuffed. I get it for like a lurk, maybe. Oh, he saw him over the wall. So maybe this wall isn't as good as I thought. Maybe it isolates the tower angle. Maybe he just lost an aim duel. I don't really know. Oh, that's strange. And then, yeah, Astra died here, Viper died here, and then Cypher died here. I don't know. This is a tough spot if you're playing Cypher. You got to win that aim duel. I think that's what it came down to. I think you could barely see over this wall, and then you just take the 1v1, and then you try to win it. But it's whatever. Jet and Breach decide to go towards the A site. Breach takes A main, which is, like I said, a really good idea. So now Breach has all this map control. They have to go to site, and they're probably going to get pinched if I were to guess. I watched this game earlier before, but I don't remember what happens, I'll be honest. Breach gets the plant down, and like I said, when you're down in numbers, you have to make a play. If Jet just simply goes to play site with Breach, they're going to get sandwiched from every different angle. They're going to get sandwiched from everything. They're going to get screwed. There's no way you're playing on this small site all by yourself without, you know what I mean? There's no way. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. So what Jet needs to do is push out and find a kill like she's doing now. So she's giving them a chance to win the round. Breach is too. He's trying to take an aim duel. Cypher camera knows that Jet's here, so he's like, okay, well, I got to be careful. I'm going to wait for my Viper, which is really big. They know that he's isolated on Breach is isolated on the site, so they kill the Breach. And then, yeah, that's it. Viper and Cypher are paired together, so if Jet were to get the kill on the Cypher, Viper would get the trade. And yeah, pretty textbook round. So with that being said, I hope you guys understand now how to play Fracture. You need to push and take map control on defense. You cannot sit on site and just take it, because any team with a decent way of executing onto a site is going to roll you. And that's why this map is so CT-sided, because T-sided, because I don't think people know how to play defense. They're getting London United is getting aggressive with their wall. They're taking the map space. They're literally 3 pushing out of sites. Jet isn't afraid to die. She's trying to find kills, and they're pinching areas to play process of elimination on where the enemy is playing. So I hope all this made sense. I really do. Well, regardless, hopefully you guys understand how to play Fracture a little bit better, improve your win rates a little more, know how to play defense. Yeah, this is a really good game. If you have time to watch it, you should watch it. It's kind of like a fever dream, because everybody's sort of moving in and out. Like they're like all different. They're like all different places, all different times. Constant rotates and stuff. It's a really interesting game to watch. And if you want to learn to play Fracture, I highly recommend you check this game out. NIP versus London United. So, with that being said, I hope you guys learned something from this. I know I did. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.